Poor game by Faker. New game though, and the big question is, of course, are you going to show anything? Are you going to say maybe we want to give you what we consider your strongest composition and we want to see how you played, what do you do in the early game? Here's one thing I think RNG is doing right now. They're saying, we're going to test Wolf. You know, what can you play? We've seen the Time Kench, didn't do anything. We've seen the Trundle support, didn't do anything. They're looking at basically Wolfie and saying, we want to see what he can play.
Well, SKT, they're going to be banning away wuxx first up here, and then Nidalee from mlxg played it twice yesterday and was ridiculous. They lost one of those games, but it was an mlxg that was eating people throughout the jungle until a 17,000 gold lead was turned around by CLG in what was the loudest I've ever heard Kobe in my entire life. Kindred going to be the final ban here for RNG, so the S-tier junglers have been removed. We'll see whether it is going to be mlxg's Graves that grabs the priority. Azir is going to be removed from xiohu, so
Graves
definite
is,
changes this time.
An option?
Oh, yes. That one's definitely one too.
So with Azir being banned...
Oh, these teams know exactly what they're doing.
I mean, this again, it's very standard picks, but definitely they had a plan coming into this. Funny enough, they didn't just come in randomly and said, what are we doing? Azir ban on the side of SKT was kind of what forced RNG into picking that Ryze. With the two, what we consider the best mid laners, then LeBlanc come in as a bit of a counter option, especially to the Azir, not to the Ryze, and that's why the Ryze first pick is so smart. Because a lot of people can take Ryze into that LeBlanc. Still think Faker can pick it if they want to try and bully that mid lane. Now that they got the Graves as well. We know mlxg can play Lee Sin, he can play Elise, he can play Kha'Zix.
You can play all sorts of things.
It didn't work out when he did play it though, back in the LPL, but still.
Oh, of course. I believe that was Insec. I don't know whether mlxg actually played the Kha'Zix.
Didn't he have a single game on it?
Oh, no, yeah, I think you might be right. It was Master Yi that Insec decided to play on R&B. We're getting a little bit too deep into it though. mlxg is going to lock down the Sivir. I like it for enabling Ryze. Don't like it as much into the Maokai, but still going to be doing a lot of AoE damage in the late game. And xiohu going to take away the Ekko for Looper towards the top side of the map. So all of the carries now, or sort of the gold earners from RNG, are going to be locked in.
Sivir is an interesting one. This is RNG, I think, again, testing the waters a little bit and maybe trying to show a little bit to SKT, because it has actually been banned a few times against them in this tournament. But they've been preferring, you know, Lucian above it as an example for wuxx, but now he gets the Sivir. So I like, you know, for these games that you show a bit. Mata gets a Bard here as well.
Yeah, Bard is going to be picked up. So Sivir Bard, the golden bottom lane for RNG. Mata's Bard is fantastic to watch.
Mata on everything.
Well, that's a good point. Mata's playing League of Legends. Pretty fantastic to watch. And mlxg back on the Lee Sin. We are going to be seeing some plays today, Deficio.
Faker or Cassiopeia incoming?
Oh,
or
I want Vel'Koz, I want Karma.
There's a Zillion option as
there.
well if they want to go back to protecting Bang. Obviously, they ran the Zillion Sivir combination last time. We saw it against CLG.
Yeah.
And RNG, I mean, again, it's a very strong team fighting. Obviously, with Sivir, Ekko, Ryze in there. A lot of pick potential as well when you have Lee Sin, when you have a Bard.
Oh, Faker
is looking
at the Lulu.
Towards there. Still protect the Bang.
And I like this. Nullify the lane. Make sure that that can't be a lane that they just focus out. Not going to get xiohu snowballed. It's not necessarily about keeping Faker down, because this RNG squad have been revolving around xiohu so far this tournament, and it is going to be the Lulu locked in. See how this one is going to go. They are going to swap it up, so Ryze is going to head towards that mid lane, of course.
I think that's a very, very risky pick, honestly, on the side of SKT. When it comes to Lucian, obviously, we have seen this combo or combination so many times from SKT in the past, with Bang getting buffed up by Lulu. That was before some of the nerfs came in as well for Lulu, and Bang was just sitting in the front line killing everything. But Ryze into Lulu is a free laning phase for Ryze, especially because he's going to bring teleport and he can sit there and farm up. And at the same time, when you have Lucian in these late game fights, very low range AD carry, positioning has to be perfect from Bang.
Yeah.
Getting caught out by anything like a Ryze, then there's enough damage to go through the Lulu utility as well and take down Bang. But it's a combo we've seen before with the Lulu Lucian from SKT, and it's protect the Bang, something they've gone back to when they struggled in the past.
One thing that I do like about these two comps is it's sort of very region-specific here. You've got RNG, a team comp that can go forward like nobody's business, because they've got the Lee Sin, they've got the Bard, playmaking potential here, but the sort of defensive prowess of what SKT have put together is ridiculous. China is going to be owning the Rift here in the head-to-head as we head on We'll see how these team comps are going to work, but I just really like the fact that everyone's playing their signature style.
Yeah, we're going to see an RNG team. Aggressive invades, creating picks, setting up these team fights. SKT, though, are looking to team fight as well with this comp. They're not going to split push or anything. They're going to react to your team fights, protect Bang as much as possible, set him up to be the big carry for your team.
Well, we'll see whether they can. We are on to Summoner's Rift here as RNG are going to be on our blue side for this matchup. mlxg will see what he can get done on this Lee Sin. The last time we saw it, he had some ludicrous scoreline. And SKT actually setting up here towards the top side of the map. Vision going to be put down by Looper. See whether he has the phase dive. He's looking to actually move forward. Does need to be very careful. Just throws down the ward. SKT going to back away. And
as you said, like, this comp is something very specific to Korea in many ways. Also with the Trundle support in here. It's simple. If Ekko dives towards you, you buff up your AD carry, you use your Trundle to steal away a lot of the stats from the Ekko, and you can actually take him down much easier. Once you kill the first guy, you can then move on to the squishier targets in the back. But the teamfights are not going to be just Ekko randomly running forward. It's going to be multiple people coming with teleports on flanks. It's going to be a Bard trying to CC, you know, maybe even engage, if you can, onto Bang with the ulti to then allow the rest of RNG to position around. And we get that same combo between a Bard and an Ekko we saw in the last game, where G2 then didn't really manage to execute it, but like Bard ulti into an Ekko W can set up some fantastic CC.
Well, we'll see exactly what is going to happen. mlxg taking Thunderlords here as well. The guy wants to get pretty hyphy earlier on in this one. It is going to be Strength of the Ages here from xiohu. I like it. The fact that he does have On the Hunt available from wuxx in these team fights to close distance.
And we get standard lanes.
And how do you feel about the Ignite being picked up here by Faker as well on the Lulu?
So, a lot of people seem to think that Lulu is not a strong laner.
Oh, she's a lane. Ooh.
So, they're like, oh, why wouldn't you just bring teleport every time and just try and like farm up the lane and then have TP for later on in the game? And that is definitely an option, but Lulu is actually a very, very strong lane bully, as you said, if you can play aggressive with her. So when they have Blank here on his Graves, I wouldn't be surprised to see him hover around that mid lane fairly often, allowing Faker to actually play aggressive with the Ignite, see if he can push this Ryze down towards the tower and deny some CS, and again, get the full lane pressure. You can see it here already.
Yeah.
Faker level 2. xiohu is level 1, still waiting for a few more minions, and he's at the tower. And it's very hard for Ryze to teleport in to trade properly, because he has to respect that summoner spell. And also, he never want to get chunked out of lane.
Oh, the pillar is going to go down. Wolf just having his way with RNG right now. Level 2 has been hit by the bottom lane of RNG, but having to be very careful. The Lucian, Trundle having a little bit of an edge earlier on.
And instantly, because Faker is pushing lane level 1, level 2, Blank knows he can invade in mid jungle. Because now he has backup from mid lane. Faker can move first. xiohu is forced to take a longer route around towards their own Raptor camp. Also on bottom side, SKT, you can see how Wolf is hovering between bot lane and the jungle here, making sure Blank can take away this red buff. And if mlxg ever wanted to fight, not only would he jump into a red buff Graves already, but also then have the backup from SKT coming very, very fast, and mlxg could very easily be cornered and go down.
Well, mlxg is going to be able to take down his Raptor camp. He's too low, like he said. So he's going to have to back away, not going to be able to grab his red buff. Blank able to start with the 3 buff.
Yeah, some of the things about Lee Sin and why he's not one of the S-tier junglers. Obviously, the early clear is not as good as the likes of Graves. We see here, so Blank could very quickly take away his 2 camps and then rush into enemy jungle. And mlxg knew, like as soon as he came in towards the jungle, he was like, okay, I can just take my Raptor here because I know he's stealing my red buff. Right now, I don't even need to check it. I know he's taking it. And there's very little Lee Sin could do pre-level 6 in these early skirmishes against a jungler like Graves.
Well, we can see Marta trying to get some harassment down on a Bang. He's going to throw some meeps at him, feeling good. And mlxg looking for an invade, but not going to be able to find any creeps in this jungle. This Graves has been ripping them apart. Oh, nice little respawn of the popcorn chicken there as the pink ward goes down. mlxg will start things off aggressively here. Still keeping his cool. xiohu can use his teleport to get back to lane if he wants to grab his tier and come home. But Faker just having his way with this lane right now, and he's always been a phenomenal Lulu player. It's showing that nothing has changed.
No.
Deficio.
And again, that's the thing about the lane for Lulu early on, how aggressive she can play. The problem is more once Ryze gets towards that level 6 mark. Not when it comes to trying to kill the Lulu 1v1, but when it comes to these skirmishes we're going to get later on. if he's able to switch targets, if they're able to catch someone out without Lulu being nearby, we know how strong the Ryze can be. And again, it puts so much of the SKT's damage on the side of Bang in the late game fights. Blank is a guy who can step up and then become a bit of a second carry in these late game fights. On a Graves, you can build it very aggressively with Infinity Edge as an example. But he's not been playing well in this tournament, so we are expecting it to be the Bang show.
Well, here's the exhaust down towards the bottom side. wuxx is just right in his face. Fantastic cosmic binding out of Mata, who's trying to control this one, but wuxx is just going so ham. wuxx is probably going to be able to walk this one out, but SKT, yeah, we've received the message on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, very nice trade by wuxx here, simply just rushing against the AD carry. One of the good things about Trundle support is you're tanky enough and you have enough damage.
So just start the Undying as well,
yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Just start 1v1ing the enemy AD carry. He can't really stop and start hitting you because then your AD carry will catch up and you win that 2v1 trade. Mata did his job, landed some CC, stopped Bang from ever following. Therefore they can still stay in lane and use the potion. But SKT with a good start because they have that pushing mid lane. We talked about Blank hovering around the lane. Potentially set up a dive, or if mlxg is pulling off a gank.
Oh, wuxx in trouble here as the pillar does go down. He does still have the flash if he needs to. The heal available at the same time. Doesn't use any. Eats himself some cocoa, and man, I would have flashed and healed and done everything I could in that situation. Keeps his cool.
Hate to say it, Atlus, but that's why you're standing here.
Yes,
right now,
that's a very good point.
Not sitting on stage. But basically he was waiting to see if Bang would ever dash forward aggressively. And then he had a summoner spell. Blank though.
Yeah, now still has one available now, but has been pushed completely out of the way. This is going to be some dirty farming from SKT. Splank makes his way in. RNG still moving down. There's another fantastic use of the pillar, which is going to get the flash out, but mlxg's here. Blank in trouble. First blood goes down to the Chinese jungler, and Bang now trying to get past, but the damage has been done, and mlxg's on the board.
And we finally didn't curse anything. We actually said Blank had been underperforming, and here he's dashing forward, not realizing that more members from RNG could show up, and he gets taken down. Faker's here. xiohu's going to follow. SKT needs to just get away from this one.
mlxg, there's the kick, flash, lands the Q at the same time, flash in, and Faker's dead one more time. mlxg picks up another one. Magical journey, Mata delivering his team to another kill in the form of wuxx, and RNG, 3 quick ones.
We've seen this before. Last time these two teams faced each other, it was exactly the same. RNG played aggressive in the start. They punished SKT. This one here, it all starts with a good play.
Reactionary aggression.
It was actually. It's a good start by SKT, you know, trying to zone them off tower. We're winning mid lane. But then they overextend with Blank, and then they just need to get away, not stay around after, trying to see can we do anything. Instant reaction, mlxg sets up the big play. And this is why RNG is the best team at the moment, because every other region have been used to just hover around towers. We can take a bit of time before we decide to play. We don't really get punished. Against RNG, instantly, they will just go for you. They will flash forward. They don't care. They will set up the play. They will win the fight. And you just have to think so much faster. You can never just hover around if you are weaker.
Well, Magical Journey is going to be put down, but no blue buff steal going to come in from Blank. And mlxg deciding not to do anything just yet. Mata still here. No flash available. In goes Faker, flashes forward, there's the cosmic binding. Mata is ridiculous. Oh, but where did that even come from? Blank grabs it with the collateral damage. The range on that Glitter Lance was unbelievable from Faker.
The entire plan was Faker flashing in, getting a bit of early damage, and then Blank with his ulti just follow up instantly. Mata just delayed it with his stun. In the end, mlxg got taken down. And SKT showing, you know, they're not done yet.
Yeah, answering back.
It's Lulu with the early game damage. Mata being caught out a little bit.
Yeah, able to get past the trophy here as Bang wishes he could go into the wall so the culling would work out. Nice boomerang comes out of wuxx.
Should be able to turn it in the air.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Can't really pivot with the old culling. But Bang, now with a longsword advantage. After all said and done, he's got a huge minion lead. Something understandable, just because the Lucian Sivir matchup difficult for the Sivir, as was discovered by CLG.
I mean, it's one of the issues with Sivir right now is that in the laning phase, she's not the strongest. So some of the teams move away from her because they want to have very, very strong 2v2 lanes. She's still a fine laner. She's mainly built around just pushing and pushing and pushing, and forcing you to sit on the tower. RNG steals away blue up. That's very key. You deny it from Faker. He needs it when he's sitting there trying to spam abilities. Lulu does use quite a bit of mana in the early game, and you give it over to xiohu, so he can now match the push from Faker. Again, everything that happened in the start of the game came around Faker having pushed in his lane, open up for Blank to invade, already level 3, take away a red buff, keep the pressure going, starting with mid lane, and then followed by invades.
Yep.
And whenever Blank could sit in the jungle, he could then just move straight down to bottom lane and deny farm.
Yeah, more fighting here towards the bottom side of the map, though, as wuxx goes through the magical journey, but bang, what was that? Oh my goodness, a rare mechanical mistake out of SKT's AD carry. The Tempered Fate was there.
Yeah, would have been stunned. wuxx. Would have been stunned anyway. So in the end, he actually doesn't really
Maybe it was just a frustrating headbutt into the wall, because I have a feeling wuxx was going to be relatively safe.
I'm clicking. No, I'm actually just smacking my head into the wall.
Well, here we are, teleport actually coming in here. The meep slap is going to slow bang down as wuxx standing right in the mid loop against the stun. See you later, bang, and RNG with 4 members going to lock them down.
RNG running double teleport. 5 members in the bottom lane, why not? The beauty of playing 2v2 bottom lanes in the current meta is it's never 2v2. Randomly the other team shows up at 5.
Yep.
And then you die very, very quickly. RNG though have to stop this push in mid from SKT.
And Juke is going to be very, very scared right now because he's the only one not to die. And RNG seem to be going around really sharing the love here as far as taking people down. Cosmic Binding is going to miss there from Mata. He's actually going to use the magical journey through the trophy. I thought it was almost like it was part of the added terrain. That was interesting.
There are some of the walls there near the dragon where you can get a very, very long magical journey. So gank bottom lane. This is again RNG running double teleport against Faker running the offensive summoner. So he's not able to join in time. It's just a great setup. When one team is overextending and you have double global, you can always set up that play very, very freely. And gank it mid.
There's the flash twisted advantage. xiohu gets exhausted but flashes out. Collateral damage not going to be enough. But there's a glitter lance from Faker. Never counted out.
Second time we see that. We're like, oh, he's safe. He's away. And Little Lance coming in. Pixie sitting there on the target. Another kill for SKT. They're trying to say, okay, you want to play aggressive? You want to constantly try and punish what we're doing? Well, we're going to do the same. xiohu stayed on the tower to try and wave clear. 5-man dive.
Yeah, and a lot of pressure on the mid lane turret, and it's going to fall down. RNG lose a lot of map control here, and something that SKT has been able to do is definitely keep their vision up. Juke just knowing, I'm a big Maokai. I've got myself some health. I can just dive, point and click CC, and the Ryze unable to do enough AoE under the turret.
And it's very, very important SKT doesn't start falling behind, because their composition will have a very hard time responding to 1-3-1 pushes when we have double TP on the side of RNG and a Sivir sitting in the mid lane. If you start fanning out as well to defend, it's very easy for RNG to make an aggressive play, you know, TP in, pop Sivir ulti on the opposite side of the map, and suddenly it's a 4v5, and SKT won't be able to do a whole lot. So they need to be ahead here from the early game so they can set up control in the river, so they can set up the dragons first and get these team fights where they know where RNG is flanking from, so they can always protect Bang.
Oh, Juke, really nice timing there on the twisted advance. Looper, lose out in that trade. Passive here from Juke doing work, keeping him sustained up, and mlxg gonna see what he can do. Parallel convergence comes in. Not gonna be spotted just yet. No stun comes down as the Z-Drive Resonance gonna speed up Looper for now. Pinkward is gonna go with the auto attack reset. wuxx gets caught, then just takes it again. All right. That was very scary. He's going to be safe for now.
Meanwhile, top lane, nothing ends up happening. Full HP Maokai is not exactly what you're looking to dive. RNG technically want to wait for the teleports to be back. Then they can set up a dive like this, 3v1, go for that 1 kill. But for now, they're trying to just wait out 1 or 2 more minutes. That means SKT can play aggressive. And look here, trying to do it on bottom side. 2 mana roaming down.
Yeah, On the Hunt has been popped here, but Wolf is going to get caught out of position. Oh, slightly off on the trophy there as the blade of the... Oh my gosh, there's a Tempered Fate. Gets rid of Blank. And wuxx is going to survive for now. Baker, is he going to land a ridiculous Glitter Lance and kill 2 people?
The Baker?
And no, not this time.
Big misplay here by Wolf. Missing the trophy.
Yeah.
Not able to even force a flash out of wuxx. And then a great response again by Mata with that ulti on the bot. He's really trying to save his AD carry so many times. That was a good opening by SKT, or for SKT here, because there were no teleports at the time. They are available in just a few more seconds, and suddenly that play, you can't really do it anymore, because then they're going to TP down instantly. you're going to be overextended, and the big fight is on one more time.
Yeah, well, RNG now with 0 turrets to SKT's 2. The one dragon that has fallen does belong to RNG for now. Rift Herald now going to be looked at as well, but RNG losing as far as global gold is concerned, and that's meant a lead for SKT despite the 2-kill difference.
A little bit closer after Rift Herald goes down, but a great adaptation for RNG coming into this tournament is...
Oh, Mata flashing very early.
It's okay, Little Lance will probably hit him in the butt.
Yep, there it is.
A lot of damage from Faker at this point. Early magic penetration boots. He's looking to really carry, and he's looking to fight right now because, again, he still has high enough base damage
it's battle
to be
Lulu.
a threat.
Battle Lulu right now as mlxg. We're going to try and get something down. Mata is still here. There's a magical journey as he misses the Q. Mata getting destroyed. Oh my goodness, the safeguard's enough to keep him alive. wuxx comes down. There's the boomerang and blank's gonna fall. mlxg grabs it. Meanwhile, more battles towards the top side. Lupa able to get rid of Bang, just eats the culling, takes the turret. No fear at all, and wuxx gonna die at the same time. Double for Lupa and just runs back and dies to the turret.
And mlxg just saved his support right there because he actually took the first hit of the Graves ulti, so there wasn't enough damage to take down Mata, and then suddenly RNG can set up a kill in top lane as well. SKT are just getting something on the bottom side, and that's about it. So look here, first engage, missing everything in the start from RNG, then the safeguard, only the AoE damage hitting from Blank. Not able to get an auto off or anything. Duke right now sitting bot lane, and then the dive on top. There's no teleport from Duke right now. Remember, Atlus, we just talked about how RNG wanted their TPs ready. Then they could make a play, and they did.
Forgot that the turret wasn't dead yet.
Okay, he got a little bit overhyped. He was also running very fast.
Yeah, Z-Drive Resonance. He's like, surely the tower will be dead by the time I get there, but no. Doesn't happen. RNG reclaim the gold lead. 1,000 here as they grab themselves a turret at the same time. Duke was unable to finish off the inner turret towards the bottom side of the map, but SKT still well and truly in this game. And they want to try and get to the point where they can 5 versus 5 with Bang at the front, smacking people in the head, wild growth available from Faker.
But it's really hurt SKT that twice they've tried to make a play where we removed the teleports from RNG and they actually failed to do anything with it. The first one down the bottom lane where they had to give up an extra kill because they stayed too long.
Yep.
Did nothing after the early invades at red buff, and that was fine. Then now when RNG had no teleports after, SKT tried one more time, both missed the trophy. wuxx didn't even have to flash out, they gained nothing. Instant as RNG have TPs ready. Boom. A few more kills.
Yeah, well, Lupa does have a Sheen now as well picked up. Spectre's Cowl there available, but Duke does have the Spirit Visage done. wuxx was able to take down that bottom outer turret. And SKT looking at their first dragon of the game. They're going to pull it out of the pit, but vision is well and truly there for RNG. mlxg looking to try and come around, but not going to make it in time. Blank's going to be able to lock that one down.
Yeah, smart decision by RNG to not contest the dragon. That 2,000 gold on Looper. 1,800 sitting right now on wuxx as well. So they're saying, you know, get that bot tower. Let's just step away, give him the dragon, let's go back. Reset the whole map, and one more time. Get our TPs ready.
Yeah.
Because we can react to what SKT is doing. If they're ever roaming with Faker once he's pushing his mid lane, xiohu can follow, and we take that big team fight. But we have multiple TP locations. We can flank them, or we can run head first. Don't do that against Lulu. It's kind of bad.
Yeah, definitely don't. Faker, though, 2 items complete. It's only the Rod of Ages done here for xiohu, but you could have a feeling that he is sitting on a little bit of money. Actually ahead in farm by just a bit. Feeling very, very comfortable right now on the Ryze pickup.
Yeah, we got to see the early start where Lulu can bully out the Ryze. It gave him that red buff. Should have given more to SKT. Now after, you just get a few items for Ryze, get a few levels, and he can start wave clearing very, very easily and just match whatever Lulu is doing. Gets a blue buff as well for xiohu, and now we get to that point where SKT can't really force plays in side lanes very effectively because, again, the threat of the globals.
Yeah.
But as a unit of 5, if they can, you know, speed up Bang, try and catch out one target, they can still be strong. And you want a team that wants Bang get like 2 items completed because then Faker is still strong enough to deal damage. And at the same time, Bang has hit a point where he can start really becoming a carry. Later and later and later, it becomes harder though for SKT.
The thing that I'm really scared about here is the amount of playmaking ability Mata has for RNG. This Bard, very unpredictable. We've seen it in the hands of so many players at this tournament. And there's just so many options for starting fights. Bang Actually moving very far up here, but Wolf waiting in the wings. Iceborne Gauntlet actually completed here as Z-Drive Resonance procs. Loop are going to run away very, very fast.
Yeah, RNG needs to move wuxx away from this bottom lane. I'm not even sure why he's there in the first place. He needs to sit mid lane, and Ryze needs to go down and match the Maokai or the Ekko has to do it. So you have TP versus TP. Now xiohu has to be a little bit careful.
Oh, teleport coming in. They're looking for Mata, who takes the magical journey. He's going to be alive. Oh, there's the cosmic binding! Ridiculous from the support player of RNG.
Perfect timing there, because once you hit the first one with the cosmic binding, it's basically going to look for a wall instantly. So even if you flash, it will still stun you. Duke tried to flash over the cosmic binding at first, but the timing were perfect from Mata.
Mind-blowing. There's the former professional support coming out, and you Deficio, as he's just losing his mind. He almost left.
I mean, I would have missed the skill shot anyway, even though he TP'd on a ward.
Ridiculously well played. And Mata, I mean, yesterday we were asking some questions about his Thresh. Didn't necessarily look in the same league to what he was doing earlier on the likes of Alistair, but today, this Bard looks brilliant.
Fantastic to watch.
Yeah.
Obviously mechanically very, very gifted, so Bard is his kind of champion.
Oh yeah,
also
and look, so many options as well.
I mean, the thing is, when you talk to players about playing against Mata, they all say, for some reason this guy is in every single lane at the same time. He's just everywhere on the map. He's in my jungle, he's clearing vision, he's setting down vision, he's catching my teammates. Obviously not catching the player we're talking to because they never make any mistakes, but teammate does get caught out quite a few times. And it's a fantastic ability to just read the map from a single player. And while he's doing that, he's also hitting almost every single skill shot.
Precisely, and then it's his teamfight navigation that we haven't even spoken about yet, which has led RNG to so many victories here in the late game teamfights, namely against SKT the first time around. It was that late game. It was wuxx on the Jhin as well, doing so much damage.
And we can see the plan there from SKT. Notice how every single member had grouped together when they rushed down to try and create one pick. They know they can never split up against the globals, but one more time, it failed. So there's another teleport used by Duke, meaning whichever lane he's sitting in is technically an empty lane for SKT right now because he doesn't have any threat. He's not going to push in a tower. And RNG can just match a teleporter against him and then just TP away from him. So he's just kind of trying to push out what he can, apply a little bit of pressure, and then go back and try and join the team. wuxx should still not be sitting bot lane. You need to have your TPs on the side so you can push up every single lane at once. And when SKT is then defending all the tier 2 towers, they're obviously going to be spread out as well. Then you just set up a tower dive. You set up the bot ulti on the tower, you go straight for them with TPs, and there's nothing SKT can do to respond.
Well, xiohu for now just going to blow the ultimate, clear out the whole minion wave. Going to secure that 3 CS lead. There's now, like you said, wuxx heading back down towards the bottom side of the map. And Duke, see what he can do as he tries to stop Looper and his onslaught towards the top side. He's ahead in farm by just a little bit. Does have the distortion enchantment on those boots, so I like it. So he can get involved in these team fights a little bit more often. One thing I was going to say to Deficio is, this is a comp that RNG are very used to going up against. This is what Beachy runs almost every single time if they can.
And you can see right here, they're not afraid.
Yeah,
pushing straight up.
Brute force, but SKT with a lot of comfort holding it as well. So we'll see what the differences are and how confident RNG are going to be moving towards the end of this mid game.
Well, so far SKT have honestly failed to execute the plays they were setting up. And that's why RNG is ahead in gold at this point here.
Yeah.
They were better at reacting at first, and then once they had to beat the aggressive team, SKT were not in a position to really do anything and had to surrender even more kills. Now with this mid tower gone, we probably are going to see xiohu go to that side lane. They grouped all 5 together, didn't even have to use a teleport. Now Dragon, this is again where SKT can do something. They can set up these dragons, clear out the vision, start the dragon, so you have 5 men together and you know behind you, you have a few pink wards as safety. So okay, they cannot TP here, this push is safe as well. You know how you can position Bang, so you won't get instantly caught out by like a Ryze flying in and killing him. You can see where RNG is engaging from, and then you can start kiting back with this Lulu here.
Well, both Ryze and Ekko had gone back to base, but now the Dragon has been started up one more time. Double teleport is available here
give it up
from
again.
RNG.
Oh,
no,
going for it.
Teleport's coming in very deep towards the bottom side. RNG going for a pincer move. Tempered Fate is available. There's Parallel Convergence. Wild Growth on a Faker very early on in this one as Wolf right in the backline. Duke tries to get the flank. Vengeful Maelstrom is massive. Faker locks down xiohu. This could be SKT's team fight as is now. wuxx is doing what he can, but it's not quite enough. mlxg still here. They're still fighting. wuxx is going to fall. And Juke's going to lock that one down. Very low health bars, but SKT, they pull out the miracle fight. They're looking like gods. As Lupa's the last man standing, he's trying to clean up. He gets Faker. Bang, still looking powerful. Does get himself a bit of a shield here. And Lupa's looking like he will survive, but 1 for 4 is fantastic for the Koreans.
It didn't look like a fight RNG were looking for at first, because they actually didn't even sit in base with the Ryze for home guard. It was just Lupa TPing in after the Dragon had already died. So see here, TP comes in, rest of RNG's running down. No one is sitting in base getting home guards at this point. We are past 20 minutes. So it's a great start by SKT because they know they have vision behind them and they can just move Bang off the ramp and then defend him. He almost dies. He goes very, very low after everyone has tried to dive onto him. Look here, Bang, he's so close to dying. Yeah. But because everyone focused on him, it bought enough time for the tanks here, both the Trundle and the Maokai, to sit in the back line, get everyone low. But really, RNG here, they didn't have to take this fight. You have double TP, you have home guards. Sit in base if you know you're gonna fight that dragon, home guard in, or before you start the dragon, have a few more wards placed a little bit deeper. Because that was a ward in the river, Lupa TP too. It was very easy for SKT to just kite backwards. As we talked about, they had the safe vision behind them. Yeah. So they could see, okay, RNG is engaging from this side. We can walk up the ramp now, no one is coming from that side, and we can now protect our AD carry.
And Juke just had a free pass into the backline as well. That Vengeful Maelstrom is so incredibly important to have against this Sivir, against the Ryze, with all of this AoE damage that's going to be flying around, and he was perfectly positioned.
Yeah, and we had also that moment in the game where SKT was still sitting with a mid laner who could deal enough damage. We also had 2 items at least completed by Bang. Yeah. So they hit some very good mid-game power spikes. And again, that was
CDR for Bang.
It was perfect timing for SKT, honestly, to take that fight. And that's where RNG still needs to learn a little bit and be like, guys, we actually don't have to opt into this one. We don't have the proper setup. TP is not in the right location.
Yep.
Bang just hit his 2 item spike here. Give him that 1 dragon.
Let's just calm down.
And then we can take the next one, or we can start playing the map without double TP and not just opt into a pure 5-on-5.
They also only used one of their teleports here. xiohu still has his. Void Staff now completed as well for the Ryze, so he's monstrous. wuxx gonna get delivered the red buff, calculated as the Brambleback falls down. Now RNG moving towards the top side of the map. Lots of vision for the Chinese squad. mlxg, yeah, still able to take down through the trophy.
Big achievement for him.
Oh yeah.
Getting the award, getting a trophy for it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, there you go. Well done.
Oh, that's another red buff. And I believe Lupa was going to pick that one up as well, so stealing that one away. Faker was back in base. You've got to teleport towards the bottom side of the map. Juke is about to have his back up. Distortion was picked up, so Lupa won't have his for the next few seconds. See whether they can utilize this, as Lupa is going to make his way through. Parallel Convergence doesn't find anything. Glitterlance also sails past unnoticed.
Distortion is such a key pickup for Duke here. It's very, very important that he has the low
fade. Locks down Faker. Yeah, the culling is over the top. There's xiohu right in the back line. Parallel Convergence off the Faker again. He's dead. Unable to use the ultimate. And well, it didn't do enough there as Bank towards the backside of this one. wuxx, he's not exhausted anymore. And Lupa is being a monster towards the backside of this one. xiohu still going forward. They've locked down Juke, who's going to try and turn it back around. Does take down xiohu, but wuxx's going to get destroyed by Lupa. wuxx with the double buffs. Juke says, nah, not going to do it. And RNG turned that one around.
2 for 4 team fight here. RNG.
mlxg wasn't even there. Well, the last half.
The last half of it, that's true. He was out of that one, but RNG basically finds a pick. We mentioned they got the Bard, Mara, the shot call, the man always starting the fights. No flash for Faker. They have the timing of the cooldown. Land the ulti. Duke is trying to be annoying here. Even as a GA, just to be even more annoying.
wuxx does have the spell shield, not going to get locked down by the Twisted Advance. Juke tries to get the Arcane Smash, but Parallel Convergence locks him up. They're able to take down the Tree's Guardian Angel. We'll see whether they'll be able to finish this one off. Another spell shield comes in. wuxx is unstoppable. mlxg locks down the kill.
But Duke bought enough time. He stopped the Baron. So, RNG knows that Faker has no flash, so if they ulti straight onto him, he can't get out of it in time, and that's how they can start the fight. Ryze came in from the flank, beautiful setup by RNG, and they get first kill. Blank is doing what he can. at this point. mlxg is out of the fight, he's recalling now, but Looper is still sitting in that back line. As soon as Faker dies, Bang is no longer a threat. And Looper could just sit there, take him out. But that is just a great use of bot ulti, but also knowledge of summoner cooldowns.
Yes.
Oh, Faker has no flash. Okay, he's gonna be our target. Not Bang, who can dash out of it or flash out of it. No, Faker is the target. And they time it so well with xiohu coming around the ramp, setting up that flank, and then having enough damage to kill Faker.
And they managed to get that pick as well, like you were talking about. So Faker unable to get the damage down in the fight, as you can see right there. Now has the Rabbidan's death cap. Faker looking a lot stronger now. But Infinity Edge is done by wuxx, and this is where things get so scary. Looper has the QSS and 3 items, one of which is a Randuin's Omen. mlxg has one of them as well. Bang's crit's not going to be hurting nearly as much.
At the point where
RNG can close this one out.
Trundle support late game is great if people do not have QSS and he has a lot of targets to pick. But when you have QSS on Looper, obviously means they're trying to lose a bit of value there.
Yeah.
Looper is now going to call.
Speaking of which, yeah, the trophy is delivered. Looper is going to use his ult. They're trying to start this fight. Tempered Fate comes down. Parallel Convergence going to give him a shot. He's alive! Survives this one for now. Sonic Wave is there. mlxg holds onto it for now. That is something I have never seen him do.
And Duke was just walking down from top lane. He had no teleport.
Teleport available for Looper as well.
Now SKT needs to be careful. They don't overextend. Faker is fairly low on mana. He's trying to recall, cancel it. TP coming in.
mlxg does take this one through. That was an interesting maneuver as he safeguards towards play. Oh my goodness, looking for the flash, but doesn't get it. Holds onto his kick at the same time as RNG trying to find a fight. And SKT dancing around it.
And Bang right there, he knows. If he stays too close, mlxg will just kick flash him. That means there's no reaction time from Bang, and therefore he just has to flash early. Same if a Gragas is like body slamming towards you, you just have to flash, because if he flashes there, you cannot react in time. And therefore mlxg got everything he wanted. No flash now for the carry. 3 items though for Bang. Faker as well. SKT are still in this game.
Oh, they most certainly are. Of course, you can see that gold lead. Looks like it's large for RNG, but look at those numbers on the side. That's 1,000, 2,000 gold at most. Nothing here for 32 minutes in this game. Either team will be able to find their way out. Of course, you look at the likes of Ryze, the likes of Sivir, and think late game power. But Faker with the flexibility of Lulu, Bang with his ice skating ability on this Lucian pickup. See what they can do, whether they can get any potential picks.
RNG right now deciding to give up the red buff because they have the Looper sitting top lane without a teleport. Duke can go up and hold that wave, and it actually gives SKT then a chance to get some Baron control. Everyone seems to just recall, reset the map, allowing RNG now, if they do have more wards, they only have a pink ward on Mata. This is the point where every back you just get pink wards if you are on RNG's side, because you can get river control, set up around that Baron, you know, start baiting SKT in a little bit. You have TP still on Ryze, and again, remember, double home guard TP in the late game.
Yeah.
If people have to blindly walk into a jungle to try and stop an objective, you have so many locations you can TP to. And if either Bang or Faker gets caught out in the start of the fight, SKT will lose that fight.
Ryze as well, xiohu now with the Guardian Angel completed. That's 4 items done for this Ryze. Probably just wants like a casual Rabbidan's Death Cap as item number 6. But he's pretty much done for things that he needs.
Yeah, and this is just a funny thing, again, when we look at the comps. Like, RNG's comp is where each individual player can do a lot. Like, each individual player have a lot of value. On the side of SKT, the players only have value when you put them together. Like, when you put the Lulu and the Lucian together.
Yeah, and this is why it's so interesting in reference to both of these teams as well, because you think of the hive mind that is SKT when they're playing like you'd expect. And RNG, known for mechanical skill and maybe some strategical errors sometimes.
But that's something they've really worked on. Very, very clearly coming into this. We've seen better lane swaps from them. We have seen much better understanding of when to go aggressive and when not to go aggressive. Like, some of the ways they're starting fights here is very, very high level. And that's obviously why this team is sitting as the #1 in the group.
Only CLG being able to find a victory over RNG. And that was overcoming a 17,000 gold lead. The LPL's RNG are looking so strong. Sonic Wave not going to find the mark as mlxg is looking for a way in, but bang, right up the front of this one. Trophy comes in. There's the on the hunt pop. They don't want this fight on the side of RNG, but Duke makes his way in towards the back line. Looper caught out of position, can't get into the magical journey, uses the ult, and it's only Bang that's caught out. Wolf now very low. And Looper with the parallel convergence doesn't do any more. Bang once again in the front of this fight. He's fantastic at playing so far up with the trust in Faker. They back away.
And right now, RNG are allowing SKT to group up and have all these individual players combine into a monster. The team fighting from SKT, when they are together, we know how good it is. And because RNG is not playing on sidelines with teleports.
Double teleport coming in now, though. xiohu has used his at the same time. RNG looking to try and stop this Baron. Looper, the flash forward, Bang, has to use his QSS. Looper over the top, taking a lot of damage. mlxg is going to have difficulty making it back into the fight. And SKT now, bit of a standoff.
And what I love so much about these Lulu compositions is once you get to late game, yeah, there might be great scaling on the other side, but if you can't get down that one carry, the Lulu team comp can just keep kiting and buying time, and eventually they will take you down.
Yeah.
Every member from RNG have to be so careful when they do engage, but at the same time, they can never hesitate. Because once you hesitate, SKT gets out of their main engage, and then they can start picking targets left and right.
Well, at the moment, you can see RNG, they stopped the Baron. Looper used his teleport, as did xiohu. Duke used his one before. So now a little bit more stationary are both of these teams for the next little while. Distortion enchantment was completed by Looper, and xiohu doesn't quite have his just yet.
And this game is so close.
So close.
2 dragons each side, so no one is going to rush a 5 dragon here. Baron is where some of the teams are looking, not able to take it down, however. And we just see these 5-on-5 teamfights now because RNG were just sitting around mid lane before. Now they used both teleports to stop the Baron. Didn't get anything extra. And you might have some of the individual champions outscaling. But at the same time, you also got to look at Blank on this Graves. Like late game, when he's full items, is another carry.
Oh, yeah.
On the side of SKT. And you tend to forget him. Because you're like, no, we need the other AD carry. This is the wrong one.
But if mlxg kicks Duke into their whole team,
then you win.
He's going to do a hell of a lot of damage because that man has so much health.
Oh, wait, Duke? No, don't kick him into a team.
No, kick him into the enemy team.
I like that.
Kill them with the big treat. There it is, though, the engage coming out. Duke right into the backline. xiohu flashes out of the way. Tempered bait to break up this one as mlxg looking for a kick. Trying to get over the top. He nails Faker with it. Oh, and Looper gets the stun. Cosmic binding over the top.
Faker's dead.
Massive play from RNG as Duke still trying to lock them up, but he can't do it. Maokai is so good at League of Legends.
Just RNG are creating so many zones in these fights here. The ulti from Maokai, the stun from Looper as well, connecting onto Faker in the end. And instantly you see the team ignore everyone else, rush for Faker, and they take him down.
The Baron is now under fire. 3,000 gold is the lead from RNG. Still only 3 turrets to 3. The big purple worm. Nothing SKT can do about it. They'll try and take a Constellation Dragon on the side. That will be their 3rd. But there's the Baron. You can hear the crowd going nuts as it creeps out to a 5,000 gold lead for RNG.
This was one of the best team fights I've ever seen. Look at this here from RNG's side. They know whenever they dive in, if they can't get the key target, you just disengage. So notice mlxg at first is going in, trying to find the carry, gets knocked up, and now, okay, disengage if you're RNG, just re-engage, wait one more time. The stun from Looper, straight onto Faker and Wolf, and instantly RNG, they all change target onto Faker, they take him down. xiohu is just trying to be a bit annoying on the side as well and forcing Bang out. Like, you always gotta look at those small movements, like xiohu staying there near Bang just means Bang can't hit anyone but him. And even if he does get too close, he just gets stunned by the Ryze, and he gets taken down because Faker is already dead. So all these small movements from RNG. And very few teams in the world can execute a comp like this against a protected AD carry composition where you gotta land those key CC abilities.
Yeah, not to mention mlxg, who's now just a kick bot, honestly, in these fights. Doing a heck of a lot of work. We have found out as well that Maokai was able to get down more damage than Faker that fight. So if you shut down this Lulu, doing good things for RNG, of course. Faker had no real opportunity to get any damage down with how RNG played that one.
But there was a misplay by Faker. Stepping into that
parallel
stun
convergence
from Looper. It's hard to navigate in these fights, a lot of things going on. Faker always keeping track of where Bang is. He's almost playing 2 characters at once because he needs to always be close enough to Bang, and then he just steps into the stun and instantly he's the target. That's Baron for RNG.
Bang once again with a 0 lifesteal build out of this Lucian. Will be building the Mercurial Scimitar, so he'll grab some more in the end. But look at wuxx, he's got a Bloodthirster, just ignoring the Mercurial Scimitar completely. His use of the spell shield has been fantastic, but he has no fear right now.
It's just Duke really going for wuxx every time, and even then Duke can never just dive straight to the back line because he's trying to peel for his carry. I mean, there's a Sivir here, you're free to hit every single one, and that's one of the very underrated things about Sivir, is the fact that in these late game fights, yeah, she might not take down the tank like really, really fast, but she's constantly hitting everyone behind the tank as well. So if the tank is trying to peel for his AD carry, he actually just sets up the Sivir, boomerangs and ricochets to move on and hit multiple targets. And if he moves away from that carry, well, then there's no front line. So it's very hard for Duke to position and stop wuxx from dealing extra damage.
Well, you can see Bang actually still doing a fair bit of work. Lupa takes about half of his health bar there, but the inner turret falls down. RNG get what they're looking for. 5 turrets to 3 now. The global gold advantage is starting to eke ahead. 7,000 now. Approximately the lead here for RNG.
And I really like this build from xiohu with the Garden Angel. I think it's such a good item on Ryze. You're staying very, very close, and you need to be able to get multiple rotations off in these fights. It's not just go in and do one rotation, then run away and start recalling. No, you have to be able to stay close enough, and you constantly wait for that 1 CC to land. It might be xiohu flashing forward with a Rune Prison, then the rest of the team following up. As an example, Faker has no cleanse, no QSS, obviously, no Mikhails either from wuxx, so if they manage to get onto Faker, there's actually nothing that can save him.
Oh, Bang actually throwing out the culling here, just trying to get some damage down onto the RNG members. mlxg, of course, utilizing the safeguard, gets himself out of trouble there as wuxx was trying to lock him down with the pillar. Duke and Lupa battling it out for now. 80 CS is the lead, approximately here for Duke towards the top side of the map. So Lupa not being able to farm quite as much as this big old tree. As Bang dances over the wall. Mata actually has to flash out of the way. QSS used, gets rid of the stun. You can feel it this game, despite the fact that there is a relatively large gold lead for RNG,
it's still
it means
close.
Basically nothing.
Yeah, it is still very close. One bad team by RNG are getting caught out and it can be lost.
Yeah, QSS actually already used here out of Lupa. Mata, no flash. Lupa, no flash. And pings down into the mid lane here for RNG. Baron still with a couple of seconds. Actually, no, I believe it's worn off.
Yeah.
So they got 1 in a turret.
SKT is gonna play for those 5 dragons here. Another one spawning soon. We talked about how important it is for SKT to always set up these objectives in advance so they know there's no ward behind them. Have a few key pink wards where you can always basically clear yourself a path you can run to when you are disengaging. And we see how confident Bang is diving forward now. Getting a few hits down, he knows the team is behind him, and if he's the target, well, he has QSS, he has Faker's ulti. So they actually want him almost to tank.
Yeah.
And Faker just has to stay safe in the back. He cannot get locked down one more time.
wuxx now going to head back. We'll see whether he can finish that Mortal Reminder or Dominic's Regard, depending on what he wants to grab. Mortal Reminder is the choice here. I like that a lot if he's going to be fighting Duke, who has a lot of sustain in the passive and the Grasp of the Undying. That's 6 items for the Sivir. There's not much more terrifying than that if you can get into auto attack range.
How about a Lucian getting buffed by Lulu?
Oh, yeah.
No.
He doesn't have his Mercurial Scimitar just yet, though.
That's true.
We'll have that conversation when that happens.
Thanks.
And in a 1v1, I would definitely choose Bang at this stage in comparison to wuxx. We've got to dance around, avoid the boomerangs. But SKT now setting up for this dragon. 25 seconds and 1:21 on the Baron. The calm before the storm, Deficio. That's what I'm feeling. The air's getting heavy.
Yeah, SKT really needs to secure this dragon here to get towards the 5. But RNG knows this. So you can already see now, look here. Just in the tri-bush near the bottom lane, there's a few walls being placed. The reason there's so many walls being placed in the same location is in case SKT puts down a pink ward in the tri-bush, it won't see the ward on the other side of the wall here. And if they put a pink ward, obviously, or sweep on the other side, they won't see the 2 across the wall here, down towards the river. So there are multiple walls basically being like, we need to be able to TP here, no matter what. We have to be able to TP there, and SKT are saying we don't want to start the dragon just yet because they don't know how many wards are behind them, and you always have to respect it.
Well, Lupa's moving in. Not going to be quite there just yet. The culling comes down one more time as Cosmic Mighting tags Bang for now. RNG setting up to try and counter off this Dragon pickup. Base dive comes in. Lupa actually just sneaks past SKT. They do lock down the Dragon and immediately back away. SKT say, nope, not anymore.
Don't want to risk it. Again, they can wait.
9 seconds on the Baron.
RNG's just recalling here. wuxx recalled it. Well, SKT can rush the Baron.
Well, it is up in 1 second.
Oh,
we'll
they
see
don't
whether
know.
they started immediately. RNG, they're pinging it furiously right now. SKT, they have started it off. This is going to melt at the hands of this team. Scrying orbs are going to need to be used. There it is, but it's down so incredibly low. They want to find the steal here. It's 10-bit bait, not quite enough. They've locked down the Baron, but what can happen now? RNG looking for more.
Bang!
They're all the way into the backline. Bang! Now getting caught up by Lupa. He does use the credit to get himself a that's the kill. Ryze there at the same time. Baker's dead. Lupa just stopping Blank from doing anything. And RNG, they want to get the 2-0 against Korea. wuxx dead. Blank has to fall down now. What a team fight out of RNG.
And it all starts with SKT just rushing the Baron. Mara is chasing Duke. This fight is never gonna end. But he's just trying to stop some recalls. So the rest of the team, look at the minions here in the bottom lane.
xiohu just going to ignore the mid lane inhibitor turret. mlxg with a fair bit of damage now at the same time. Warrior Tramp, Black Cleaver. Sterix Gage there as well as a Hex Drinker, so he's going to be smacking this thing. As xiohu going to clean out the inhibitor at the same time. So 20 seconds on Faker. Bit less there for Bang. I don't think they'll be able to finish the game here, but the base is broken. SKT with only 1 Baron.
That was so scary though, because SKT got to pick up that Baron, just rushing it. Everyone from RNG recalled. We'll be able to take a mid tower as well with this massive wave. But Bang, he charged forward straight into another stun from Looper. Had to use early QSS, and then the rest of the team could chase him. So this is just the Baron going down. SKT gets it, and then look here. Bang gets stunned instantly. Lupa is still sitting on him, slowing him down, and now wuxx finds an opening to actually go in as the AD carry. Multiple crits in a row, takes him down, and now the damage is gone by SKT.
wuxx does die, but this is just cleanup, and you were talking about the fact that this is a team so reliant on having all of the pieces working together. When one of them falls down, it's just not quite enough. We do have a slight pause, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see. The mid inner turret is definitely going to fall down, but RNG now in the driver's seat, despite the fact that they cannot now go for that Baron buff. It's 3 dragons apiece. The gold is what, 5,000? And there's an inhibitor now down on the bottom side of the map. SKT still definitely not out of it.
And we keep seeing so much respect for each team composition. It's never like, okay, we're 5k gold ahead, we have what we need, just force a team fight. No, everything now. After RNG made that mistake at the Dragon early on in the game, they learned. They're like, okay, never rush into a fight without any vision beforehand.
Yeah.
This one here around the Baron, with Bang charging out of it, it's such a tough decision because you want to get out of the Baron pit as fast as possible so you don't get locked down in the Baron pit itself. But Bang then jumping out of it meant the rest of the team couldn't follow. So once he had to like flash away and try and kite away, it allowed wuxx, another AD carry, to kill him. That should never happen, but it showed because it was such a crazy fight.
Yeah. This just in, we have found out Faker accidentally alt-tabbed. So we are going to be back onto the Rift ASAP. It happens. I do it all the time. I have it on full screen mode as well, so it takes forever.
It takes a long time to tap back into the game for Faker.
Yeah, well, as we can see, looking down at the items, I mean, there's barely anything to finish up here. Even Lupa has himself a Mercurial Scimitar, so it's looking so similar. This is going to be the longest best-of-5 series ever next weekend. Of course, this is a preview, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going to be one of the best.
Yeah, it's 47 minutes into this game. 6 items apiece for everyone, and it's sort of like, I don't know, you get to just, why don't we just put them into the game at this stage? Just get 6 items on everyone. You guys can just duke it out. We are going to see an unpause very, very soon.
Would be the play-by-play dream.
It would. It would. Just team fights everywhere, Deficio. You'd love it too. Don't you lie to me.
I'm getting very excited here. That is true. These fights are insane. Watching RNG set up the fight and SKT trying to kite their way out of it.
That blue buff used to be there for a second.
Yeah, we need to change that. We need the buffs to scale with the champions. Give them some items as well.
Yeah, exactly. Give them a Warmogs, please. xiohu looks too easy.
All right, so we're back one more time where...
Set the stage for us, Deficio.
Well, SKT, again, are looking for an objective where they can, as we talked about, set up the vision, set up the correct fight for them, avoiding multiple flanks. And because they lost that last dragon, delayed them going towards 5, which was one of the openings for SKT to always force fights around that dragon. But honestly, they had to just give it up because they couldn't, like, SKT can never really rush straight at RNG without knowing where everyone is on the map. But one more time, one bad team fight, even though you're 5k gold ahead and the game is over.
And as you can see, mlxg sold his Hex Drinker. He wants a Guardian Angel himself. There's Bang running forward one more time. wuxx actually tanking a lot of that culling. This Bang does so much damage now with 6 items. 6-item Lucian, one of the most devastating AD carries.
I mean, you can pick a lot of different hyper carries and say this guy will deal more damage.
For sure. Reasons, right?
Different reasons, but what Lucian can do is he can play so aggressive because he has so much mobility with the 40% cooldown reduction. And when you then add in a Lulu to protect him, you almost make him hyper carry, just like that, and he can sit there, dance around in the front line. But as we saw in that last fight at the Baron, Bang can never separate himself from Faker. That's what happened. It meant the SKT lost the fight. And Lupa has been landing some very, very key stunts in this game.
Well, teleport actually going to be used here. SKT going for a team fight. On the hunt has been popped. xiohu maybe caught out of position right now. Bang finally found his way in, but there's a tempered fate. Martin's locked them all down. Parallel convergence one more time as Faker better positioning this time around. xiohu is going to have that Guardian Angel pop, but Bang right in the front line. Has to be so careful. Chrono Break comes down. wuxx and Juke just 1v. Oh my god, wuxx is going to fall down. wuxx did die, but Bang just kiting left, right, and center. wuxx is the dead one. wuxx down as well, but now SKT, this is their team fight.
Such a good setup by SKT, TPing in with Duke. Everyone has to focus him, and then Bang. Suddenly, he's safe. He knows there's no one flanking him. He can still there. He can deal the damage. He can dance around. Had to use QSS. Had no flash for the fight, though, and SKT still managed to keep him alive.
Yeah, they've got so much turret damage here as well. SKT are going to be able to take down this inhibitor. Can they get more? wuxx and Lupa both dead. xiohu, no Guardian Angel. And they're looking to try and finish the game. Blank is going to get stunned up. xiohu, look at it! Explodes the Graves as the kick out comes onto Bang. Wild Growth is there as Duke tanking up this turret. There's the Tempered Fate, just making sure they keep the turret alive. xiohu in there as well. Is going down very, very low. Duke trying to stay alive. mlxg gets
They're going to defend
the Bang!
They defend it now. Bang going down was the last member SKT needed to take down the tower. Instead, they have to run.
mlxg trying to tank things up. Faker's damage not quite as high at this stage of the game. Teleport coming down. xiohu, he's going to teleport in. They want to find the kill onto the Lulu.
They're pinging the base right now. There's loads of minions. If you look at the top lane, super minions.
Faker's hiding. You cheeky devil.
This is huge for SKT if they get the recall off them. Nope, not finding it. But
SKT going to take
SKT
down the turret.
Have to still defend now. The recalls, if that had been interrupted by Mata, RNG might have had a chance to finish the game.
Still, it's 6,000 gold. The inhibitor turret falls down, but the bottom lane inhibitor is going to respawn for SKT before that mid lane inhibitor does for RNG. Slight advantage here. And now 4th Dragon's available for both sides. RNG probably will be able to grab this one.
Yeah, no Bang alive for another 10 seconds. SKT in their protect the AD carry comp is not looking to fight without the AD carry.
No, Faker wants to be able to take down that blue buff, does so easily. Lupa says, damn it, not allowed to build damage anymore on this champion. As 4th Dragon goes down, RNG now holding the cards. As far as that 5th Dragon win condition is concerned, wuxx grabs himself a red buff, and we'll have another reset. Blank has sold an item and grabbed himself the Infinity Edge.
We like it.
Yeah, love it. mlxg's looking over and saying, oh, I love it when I do that.
Get the 10 bullets from the Graves. Very, very good for constantly resetting his cooldown as well. On his quick draw. And is constantly allowing him to build up more resistances and be more mobile in his fights. Because he's the guy who has to also rush in towards the backline. He was the guy who took down wuxx in the last team fight. Because Bang, it's hard for him to be the man reaching the enemy AD carry. Send in Blank instead.
Well, Phantom Dancer is now picked up for wuxx as well, so a little bit more survivable here against the big tanks from SKT when they're trying to land on top of him. Sonya's Hourglass done for xiohu here as SKT steal away the blue buff. It was Faker that grabs his 2nd in a very short amount of time. Parallel Convergence coming in here as Lupa We're going to start something potentially. RNG going to have to be very, very careful. SKT showing that they can team fight with them at this stage of the game against some very powerful late game threats. It doesn't matter when you've got this sort of synergy, this sort of control, and mlxg has to safeguard its way out. Massive damage here lands onto Bang as just the tip of the boomerang is going to take away his shield.
Very hard for RNG to start a fight here because they have no teleport, so they can't really set up a proper flank. SKT, they know it, so that's why they're constantly hovering around the Baron. They have the control. You need to now face check towards them.
Waves as well in fantastic position here for SKT. xiohu just running at them. He's going to get slowed down by the pillar, and they're still holding on, not deciding to fully commit as SKT moves towards the Baron.
No flash for Bang and Faker.
Oh, Looper over the top, lots of damage on mlxg. And once again, playing footsies.
They got the Sivir ulti here by SKT moving forward one more time.
Yeah, another pillar comes down, Bang, caught for a second, Bang gets blank, but not the priority targets. That's another miss on the stun from Looper. wuxx trying to get more done, Marta, Bale flashes over the top, Blank able to lock down the support. Wild Growth comes in and SKT, they look fantastic in this fight. Looper, Chrono breaks his way out, but cannot finish off the AD carry, and Blank as well doing so much work. xiohu's dead, Blank as well stays alive.
That's gonna be it!
And this will be game SKT. They finally find the team fight they're looking for.
Duke is just buying time here. Rest of SKT rushing straight into the base. They have minions on top side. I don't even think they need them. It's just one tower and Bang is straight on it.
Yep, already taking this one down. SKT in the 54-minute game are able to take out this one. Teleport comes down. wuxx trying to clean up. Gets a crit towards the end there. That was a heck of a lot of damage, but SKT will be able to deal with him. And the Nexus falls. What an incredible game. Make sure you pencil in about 8 hours for that best of 5, because that is 2 of the longest games of this whole week.
But that could be one of the best of 5s you have ever seen.
So incredibly good.
Such a high-level game with team fighting. Both teams looking for the fights, but different kind of ways. You know, one team want to flank, want to get into the carry, the other team want to protect that carry. And Bang is just dancing around. He had no QSS in the last fight, and then Mata just missed the ulti. And suddenly SKT.
And then the parallel convergence as well, not quite there. It sort of relies on these abilities being layered.
And suddenly SKT kept the AD carry alive, managed to take down the key targets. Blank was just sitting in the backline of RNG every single time. But what a game.
So incredibly good. And look, it does mean that SKT might be holding a little bit of momentum moving in to that semi-final, but only evening things out with RNG. Both of these squads